Hey guys, so my friends have an annual Valentine's Day party where they ask everybody to write an irreverent Valentine, and then we all go around and read them and a good time is had by all. Some of my friends were unable to be at the party and they heard about the one that I read and they wanted to see a recording of it, which is why I am awkwardly alone in my living room recording this, which is a Valentine to all the men I've dated in my first year of divorce. To Mark, who is a terrible conversationalist and had weirdly soft, hairless, prepubescent skin, but who got me over the hump of my first postmarital sex. To Zach. Oh, sweet Zach. You were my first real date in 13 years. The last time I went on a date, you were 12 years old. You wanted to buy me a drink, but I knew you couldn't really afford my top shelf Manhattan, so I bought you one instead. And then you took me back to your apartment, took down the biggest bag of weed I've ever seen from its hiding place behind 2 family-sized boxes of Lucky Charms, and talked about how mature you are. You gestured around at your sparsely furnished apartment and told me how weird it is to have reached a point in your life where you have so much stuff. When we had sex on what you claimed was a low bed, not an air mattress, but which definitely seemed to be an air mattress, I learned that at 25, you still only have one move in bed. Hard and fast. For an hour. And honey, my lady likes a good hard fuck as much as the next girl, but she is still a lady, and you beat the shit out of her. When a woman wraps her legs around you to get you to slow down for a bit, the correct response is not, I can't really do anything when you do that. But you were sweet and earnest, and you were still texting me 10 months later, and I will always remember you fondly as the door through which I passed into singlehood. To Dave. The sex was good, but you were a cocky, self-absorbed prick, and I was glad when we mutually ghosted each other. To the Hobbit-like English Lit grad student. I mean, Renaissance fairs are fun and all, but they're not that fun. To Kevin, who waited until our 3rd date to tell me that you're an Episcopalian minister. I feel like that's the kind of information that should be included in your dating profile. To Alex, who claimed to be 45, but who was definitely 10 years older than that. You were a bit of an odd bird, Alex, and you liked to talk about yourself a lot. But you brought me dinner the day I moved into my apartment, along with plates and cutlery and glasses, because I didn't have any of my own yet. You put together my red velvet reading chaise, and you left behind your super fancy digital tape measure. You were uptight enough that I know it probably really bothers you to have lost such an unnecessarily expensive tape measure, and I think of you every time I use it, and I delight in the fact that though you and I never shared more than one truly awkward kiss, like kissing a dead fish, I have enjoyed that velvet sex couch with another man, and so I suppose we are both grateful for your power drill and furniture building efforts. To the Turk, who looks at me with an intensity I am not accustomed to, and makes me revel in my body and the solitude and freedom of being single. You'll always be the man who taught me how to say pussy in Turkish. To the multiple men who have somehow reached their 30s or 40s and are still bad kissers. There's really no excuse for that. To Evan, who spent our entire first and only date telling me in detail about how everyone in your life is an asshole, and then, at the end of our date, pulled a gun out of your motorcycle and casually put it in your waistband for the ride home. Thank you for not killing me or stalking me when I stopped responding to your texts. To the guy whose wife texted me, "May I ask why you were on a date with my husband?" I mean, seriously, what the fuck, dude? That picture she sent of you guys with your 3 kids at the pumpkin farm was super sweet, though. To these and all the other men of my first year of divorce, thank you. Most of you were no great prize, but none of you hurt me either. I said no to most of you, but none of you pressured me or made me feel bad about my choice. Happy Valentine's Day, my sweets. May you all find love with someone else. Now, my favorite part about that night was that after I read this, 2 men came up to me and asked if I was currently seeing anyone. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.